But you gotta do the work. Or the other road leads to jail, prison, and maybe a body bag.
What happens when you're a 19-year-old defendant and you forget the rules? Well, in the case of Judge Aquilina's court, you end up right back in front of her. So he was given a PR bond, but didn't do the things he was supposed to do and allegedly committed a couple of other crimes. So let's see how Judge Aquilina handles this, and then let me know in the comments afterwards what you think of how she did with him. My name is Dan. This creature sitting over here next to me is Ellie. This is the Courtroom Files.
This is docket 252774FH, People of the State of Michigan versus Kamari, McCroy-Pipens dump. Counsel, your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Bart Buxton on behalf of People of the State of Michigan.
May it please the court, David B. Carter Jr. on behalf of Makari Stump.
Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Sir, I have a bench warrant that has the following allegation. As of March 16, 2026, defendant failed to report to pretrial services for enrollment in violation of the terms and conditions of bond release. Is that the extent of the allegation?
Additionally, Your Honor, and I think the reason why there was a failure to appear is that on March 19th, Your Honor, Mr. McCroy was picked up on new charges that are in the district court level as of this moment.
What are those new charges?
Those new charges, Your Honor, are receiving and concealing a motor vehicle, assault, receiving and concealing a stolen. One second, Your Honor, I'm trying to.
All right, so
there are multiple different
felonies.
charges.
Okay, got
Yes,
it.
receiving, concealing, fleeing forth, and resisting obstructing a police officer.
And those have not been bound over. When's the preliminary exam?
The preliminary examination, Your Honor, is April 9th.
Okay.
And there are additional charges as well that happened on February 16th. I'm not sure what happened. Our office has authorized those charges, and my understanding is that they were sent to the court on March 10th, but not sure what happened there. So our office is looking into that right now, but there will be additional charges from February 16th, which is another receiving and concealing a motor vehicle and an assault and battery.
So that was sent to the district court?
That was sent to the district court. There are no dates yet. He has not been arraigned on that file as of yet.
Okay. So how would you like to proceed on this?
He'll admit to the allegation of failure to report because there was a misunderstanding with the next court date and what we were doing in this case. So he'll admit that he failed to do that. As far as the other allegations, they haven't resulted in a bench warrant, but obviously my client would stand mute until we figure out what's going on in those cases. I don't represent him on those other cases for some reason.
All right, sir. As of March 16th, 2026, failure to report to pretrial services for enrollment. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did anyone force, threaten, or coerce you to plead?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything that caused you to plead?
No, ma'am.
And you pled of your own free will after talking with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew I gave you bond on January 14th. I gave you a $5,000 PR bond. And I told you to report as directed by pretrial services, including any testing they wanted, PPTs or drug testing. And you were supposed to appear for all hearings and proceedings. And the next court date that I have on the bond was 11 February 2026 at 11. Did he show up for that? Did he show up for that?
He did.
So
and I contacted pretrial services when they contacted me and said, hey, your client hasn't started that. And I said, well, he showed up for court, and that's where the confusion started with my client and pretrial services.
okay. Sir, you have to show up. You have to go. Do you know where pretrial services is?
No, ma'am.
No.
The
Well,
only option I found is pre-trial services on East 2nd Street in
Yeah,
Madison,
we're
about
serious.
279 miles to your south. Does that
um, so when you're on bond conditions, when you are free, figure it out. All right. Here's my confusion. I let you out on bond. And one of the things that you are clearly, I think, knowledgeable about is you're not supposed to violate the law, which is also a violation of bond conditions. And now I have 2 files that are coming up to me. And I don't want you to talk about that, but I want you to know that I can toss this violation, doesn't mean anything. I understand your confusion, you're done. But I also know you're old enough to know the law and to stay out of trouble. Because you had a lot of years where you were not in trouble. And suddenly I got a whole bunch of stuff coming in front of me. So that's a concern. So what was so hard about checking in? You were just lost and didn't know what to do?
No, I actually forgot, Your Honor. And I just got a house and a phone number and I forgot to like contact them and everything.
I think what happened, Your Honor, and I'll be frank, is my client spent, he's got a lot of time in on this case. And it on that day, when you gave him a PR bond, I think when you verbally said a PR bond, such and such, everything else, just he was so ecstatic to get out, because when he got out, he worked with Techum, he got a job, and he has a job. He was working when he got picked up. They found him housing, he's getting into housing. And that's what I think happened, is I think he was just so ecstatic that he was getting out on a PR bond that he didn't follow through with checking in at pretrial services, because he showed up at his next court date. I didn't realize he wasn't showing up with pretrial services. I even indicated that to I think Greg down there. And in the meantime, because he had been locked up so long, he ended up getting a new phone. And I had a hard time contacting him by phone to let him know that. But other than that, he showed up at every court date in between.
On behalf of the people, what is your recommendation? He is guilty of violating bond. Well, let's talk about what happens here.
Correct, Your Honor. At this point in time, the people are concerned with letting the defendant out again. We are now, as I stated, Your Honor, there are now, and I understand that they are only allegations, but there are 2 new allegations of the same exact charge that we are currently in front of, essentially in front of Your Honor on. This case also involved a potential theft of a vehicle, but there was an individual that was able to call him out prior to that. We now have 2 receiving and concealing motor vehicles that have happened within the 2 months that Mr. McCroy Stump has been out at this point. The people are concerned, Your Honor, that if he is let out on another PR bond, he is going to have more violations, more motor vehicles, Your Honor. So the people would be asking for 10,000 cash surety at this time, Your Honor.
Response.
Well, I would indicate to the court that let's look at this case only. He's got so much time in on this case. I'm asking the court to give him a shot at another PR bond, but understanding he's got a 3,000 10% bond that he has to post down in district court on these new charges. So he still has skin in the game with having to show up. But if you set a bond at 10,000, he's not going to get out. He's going to sit. He'll sit until trial.
Sir, what is your new address? You said you had a new address?
Yes, ma'am. 2510 Rysdale Ave.
Rysdale Avenue?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a house or apartment?
Apartment.
What's the number?
That's just it. It's just 2510.
Okay. And is that Lansing?
Yes, ma'am.
This is it.
for a 911, I wanna say,
Who lives there with you?
nobody.
And what about your job? Can you go back to work?
Yes, ma'am.
So my understanding with one of the offers at least was that you were going to get HIDA to earn a non-public record. I don't know what the offer is gonna be or if there's gonna be an offer with new files coming up. How old are you?
19,
You like that jumpsuit?
no, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any family in the area?
Yes, ma'am.
Who?
I have brothers and sisters.
What about your parents?
My dad is in Indiana, my mom's in Georgia.
So why are you here? They're not here.
Cause when I had got locked up, they had left.
Are you in contact with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a car? How do you get to work?
The bus sometimes, or I take an Uber.
I don't know what's going on with you. But you're 19. Sorry your parents have moved away. I don't know what kind of support your siblings are. But you keep getting in trouble. The county or the state is gonna give you a bed. It isn't very comfortable. Some food, it isn't very good. And whatever color jumpsuit they wanna give you in. Oh, and you get those Crocs too. If that's the kind of life you want, then keep breaking the law. If you don't want that life, and you want nice things, and you want to live up to the magnificent potential you were born to, then stay on the right side of the law and get all of these files behind you one way or the other. Start making amends. Because there's a fork in the road here, and it goes one of two ways. You rehabilitate yourself with a lot of help that we provide, but you gotta do the work. Or the other road leads to jail, prison, and maybe a body bag. None of those options are good. And I hope you think more of yourself than taking those options. But the choice is yours. It is not mine. It is not law enforcement's. It's not prosecutors, your parents, your siblings, or your lawyers. It is your sole choice. Who do you want to be? What kind of man do you want to be? What kind of citizen do you want to be? What kind of son and brother and maybe father do you want to be? Those are all choices you need to make. And I hope for your sake and everybody else's, you decide you are valuable, that you are worthy of greatness, and you shoot for the greatness, not the Department of Corrections. You have decisions to make. So here's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna give you a $25,000 PR bond. You're held on the others, so we'll see what goes on. You will have a jail GPS tether. Now, if you cut it off, that's another felony and a whole lot of money. If you don't charge it, it'll be brought in. If you commit a crime, we will know exactly where you were and where you were not. There is an indigent grant. If you are eligible for that, then great. If not, you'll have to work a little harder and pay for it.
I have a question.
Yep,
How would I know if the indigent grant?
because we have wonderful people over at the jail and they'll help you with all of that. And also, your attorney knows about it. There are a lot of good people who are working for you, but you have to work with them, not against them. Okay? You shall not use, possess, consume, or be in the presence of illegal drugs, alcohol, or drug paraphernalia. If you have any prescriptions, you'll show them to pretrial services within 24 hours. Take any psychotropic medication, if any, as prescribed. You'll follow all your doctor's recommendations. You'll PBT and or drug test as requested by pretrial services, law enforcement, any court officer or family members you may live with. You'll not own, have in your possession or under your control any weapon, gun, ammunition, imitation of a weapon. You'll not be in the presence of anyone who has any contraband whatsoever. You will not be in the presence of any known gang members. You'll not wear any gang colors, insignia, or gang tattoos. You will remain residing at your residence. I am impressed that you have a residence. A lot of people your age get in trouble when they're homeless. So you are making some strides that impress me. Keep impressing me, sir, because the opposite doesn't go well. You should also probably check into Lansing Community College. You graduated high school, right?
No, man, I was getting into the adult education center.
Well, great, do that. Because the only thing that someone cannot take away from you, besides your name, is your education. So don't just check into it, sign up. There's also a program at LCC where you can get high school and college. I don't know if you qualify for that or not, but you can get 2 for 1. I don't know with all this going on if they will accept you or not, but figure it out. Pretrial services can help you. You will appear for all hearings and proceedings. Our next court date, I don't know where in the process are those other cases.
Yeah, I would suggest that, do you know, when would the,
So the preliminary examination for the case that he has been arraigned on is set for April 9th. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what's going on with the other case. I'm going to, as soon as I'm done today, go up to my office and figure that out and get that authorized and arraigned ASAP.
All right,
Can
May
we set
13th at 11.
I'm sorry,
May 13th at 11, does that work? And then if we need to move it because we want to have all the files at once, you can move it.
that's what I was gonna
Target
suggest,
date.
is like a control date, and then
Yep.
once we get a, all right,
And then
May 13th.
you need to advise pretrial services and your attorney of any address or phone change. Do you have a phone number?
Your Honor, I may be at trial on the 13th in Jackson on a homicide.
Okay. Let's take the next week. 20th, May 20th. May 20th at 11. If we need to move it again, let's do that, but I don't want to put it too far out there. So, sir, do you have a phone number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, does your attorney have it?
No, I want to get it from, go ahead, 517.
316-6012.
Right. Any address or phone change, you need to let pretrial services and the court and counsel know within 24 hours. What hours do you work, sir?
I work part-time now, so it's like sometimes it's from like 9 to 12 and then
Is that in the
9.
morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 9 to 12. Do you ever work afternoon?
No, ma'am.
Do you work evenings?
No, ma'am.
Great. You're gonna have a curfew of 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So you need to be in your residence at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
You will appear for all hearings and proceedings. The next court date in front of me is May 20th at 11, where we're going to take up all of your matters, and your counsel may move it, so stay in contact with him. And with pretrial services, you end up coming to this building, and then pretrial services is there's in the basement, is that right?
No,
Probation, or are they on the first floor?
third floor.
Okay.
3R,
One
right?
You're on
Is
the
it
first
3R?
floor, I don't know, so third floor? Okay, so go to 3, is it 3R? 3R, so in the elevator, it's gonna, so here, I'm on third floor, when you're in the elevator, go to 3R. That goes to the other side of the building, that's where pretrial services is, okay? So within 24 hours of your release, as long as it's through the, if it's on a Friday, you'll report Monday, if it's on a Monday, you'll report Tuesday, okay? Pretrial services, and engage with them. You will not have any contact with any co-defendant, if any, or a victim on any file. And no contact with anyone on parole or probation or in MDOC, Michigan Department of Corrections. If at any time needed, you'll work with counsel to verify your address, maintain housing, and obtain employment, and real estate counsel, pretrial services, and as directed. And also, I want you to enroll in school to get high school or GED. You need to keep busy, sir. Anything I've told you to do, you're confused about?
No, ma'am.
Anything I've told you to do, you think you can't do?
No, ma'am.
Sir, this is for you. It's not for anybody here. In fact, it's painful for law enforcement. They gotta keep arresting you. Don't give them a problem. Don't make them arrest you. You like riding in that sheriff car?
No, ma'am.
Don't ask for a ride. Stay law abiding. Not comfortable to be caged in that backseat, is it?
No, ma'am.
Well, then let's stop it. Stop the cycle. Whatever's going on with you, let's get you some help. You gotta help yourself, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you think you need to work with community mental health? Is there something going on I don't know?
No, ma'am.
Well, if something happens and you really feel the need, they have phone numbers you can call. Get in, talk to someone. Don't commit another crime. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll make sure you read a copy of all this. I'll see you in a few months.
Thank you,
No
guys.
new files, sir. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.